Wedding bells are chiming for the House of L in an event so huge the future can't even handle it. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop into the pages of Action Comics 2021 Annual Number 1 and find out. Wow, why is that title so awkward to say? When did they start putting the year in the titles for the annuals? Oh, they're all doing that at DC now? Shit. So then this brand new story actually plays around a lot with the concept of time and the flow of events. We are actually on Warworld as things begin. And our POV character for the proceedings turns out to be a little girl version of Theand'r. You'll remember her as the Kryptonian refugee that Superman was trying to help out in the pages of the ongoing Action Comics story. Theand'r is part of an ancient Kryptonian splinter group called the Phalasians, who were kidnapped and forced to fight on Warworld for Mongol. Still though, even in these dark times, these ancient Kryptonians do their best to try and keep their culture alive even after generations of bondage. We see their ancient storyteller, a man named Bala, who is actually pretty damn well informed not only of Kryptonian history but of goings-on all over the universe, which probably explains why Theand'r was able to recognize Superman meeting him for the first time. But wait, it doesn't stop there, because this mysterious storyteller also seems to have knowledge of the future, because he tells all the Phalasian children a story about the House of L, aka the far future descendants of Superman that we saw all the way back in Future State. Granted, that story was their final adventure, this is one of their early adventures. So yeah, we got a story within a story, and this story is all about a wedding. Kara Zor-El, the Supergirl, is on her moon sanctuary presiding over a wedding between Allura-El, Grand Champion with the title of Valkyrie, to the love of her life, a man named Khan. Khan is a Phalasian war master, and he makes weapons for Warworld Prime, which would seek to imply that in the future there's more than one Warworld. Keeping with new Kryptonian traditions, if you want to marry into the House of L, you must defeat a champion from the family, and there's several truly powerful individuals assembled here for this happy day. There's Brandon Kent, the new Superman of Earth, who looks like an all-grown-up John who actually died in the pages of that Future State book. His two children, Ronan Kent, who is said to be the protector of New Metropolis, where exactly that is, I don't know, and his daughter, Theand'r. And of course, how could I possibly forget Rowan Kent, who is not only a member of the House of L, but a Blue Lantern too, and if that seems like too much power, wait till you see who ends up crashing the wedding. The Red King of New Apocalypse, Phyros, also known as the illegitimate son of Superman, Clark Kent, and Cersei. Now, they don't exactly explain how that happened, but keeping with the Greek thing, I'm going to imagine Cersei transformed herself to trick him. Phyros is incredibly dangerous, not just because he has all the powers of a regular old Kryptonian, but pair that with his magical abilities, one of the few things that can actually hurt other Kryptonians, and you got a recipe for disaster. Phyros has come to ruin this happy day for his family, and his gift, oh, you're gonna love this, is an old Phantom Zone projector which ends up teleporting all of his extended family into the void. With them gone, Phyros makes short work of Supergirl before attempting to invade all of Earth with his parademon army. The House of L are unsure how they're going to escape the Phantom Zone, as no one has actually seen a Phantom Zone projector since the time of Clark. The place also just so happens to be overrun by terrifying monsters. The House of L battles heroically against these creatures, but eventually they start to feel their strength leaving them as the yellow sunlight starts to dissipate within them. The family is ultimately saved, though, in their darkest hour by the most unlikely of people. It's Hank Henshaw, aka the Cyborg Superman, who has been trapped here in the Phantom Zone for hundreds of years longer than Clark ever intended him to be. Hank Henshaw theorizes using his big science brain he can hopefully get the House of L home. All he's going to need is a little assistance from Brainiac 4, who is also an extended member of the family at this point. Not everyone is so quick to trust the Cyborg Superman, and with good reason. Brandon Kent positively hates this guy because he still remembers all the stories of Henshaw being one of Clark's oldest and most evil foes. Henshaw does end up sharing some rather interesting revelations that he's made about the Phantom Zone after the numerous lifetimes he spent trapped here. It seems that Jor-El never actually invented the place like he so claimed before. For you see, the Phantom Zone is not some alternate plane of existence like everyone had thought previously. Well, it's a place that exists within the mind of an old powerful god that goes by Aether, possibly Ether depending on how you choose to pronounce that A. Using Aether's mind as a prison was all well and good back when the old god was asleep, but now it's waking up again, and all of the old Kryptonian and supervillain inmates that called this place home have been corrupted and turned into the monsters they've been fighting this whole time. Cyborg Superman theorizes that the only reason he himself never turned after all this time was that his robotic parts managed to keep him strong and resolute longer than anyone else. As we soon discover, the key to escaping this realm is actually a mother box, one owned by Mr. Miracle. It would seem that at some point in history, the world's greatest escape artist, Scott Free, had attempted to escape from the Phantom Zone only for it to end up being his last trick ever. Brainiac 4, using his lead hacksaw skills, is able to get the box back online, but not without alerting a whole armada of monsters that come on in like moss to the flame. It's during the fight the good guys manage to do a little ancient Kryptonian CSI work and realize that the killing blow that was struck against Mr. Miracle was actually a heat vision blast to the spine. Meaning that yes, this was a trap, and yes, Cyborg Superman had led them to this point in hopes of leaving them all behind and making his own course for escape. Luckily, they're able to stop him, and the House of L is ultimately able to make it back to the main universe in time to defeat Pyros and save Supergirl. It's also here we see, amongst all the ancient Kryptonian trophies, a small little toy Superman made out of metal. If it looks familiar, it should, because it's the toy Superman that Theand'r is playing with on Warworld in the past, meaning that all of these events are inextricably tied together. Time is most definitely a flat circle, and this probably isn't the last time we're going to see any of these characters moving forward as the comic comes to a close. And so that was Action Comics 2021 Annual Number 1, everybody, and overall I thought it was a fun little one-and-done story that ties together a lot of stuff from Philip Kennedy Johnson's ongoing Action Comics story and the stuff we've seen in Future State. In fact, this story would seek to imply that Kennedy Johnson has a lot of big ideas for Superman and Action Comics that extend even beyond what's going on with Tom Taylor and Grant Morrison in their own upcoming Superman stories. The House of L are fun characters with cool designs, even if I feel in this story they all ended up kind of sounding a little samey to me, but hey, you know, such is to be expected with such new characters who are still trying to establish themselves. Also, while I'm totally sick of the concept of evil Supermans, I actually think Pyros has a lot of rather interesting things going for him, likewise Old Man Hank Henshaw, who has a very cool design. Overall, I think I'd feel comfortable giving this annual a 7.5 out of 10, a pretty cool little one and done that's gonna feel super rewarding if you've been reading everything Philip Kennedy Johnson has been doing with Superman up to this point.
Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quest. That's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow and, you know, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.